Can we all say,
Yes, it's visible.
yep, thank you. Um, with this, I'd like to start my presentation. Apart from the beauty of the Himalayas and richness in natural resources, Nepal is also known for its distinct culture and colorful, vibrant festivals. Despite being small in size, the Himalayan nation is home to people of various cultures and ethnicities with different tradition and festivities. Most of the festivals celebrated in Nepal have religious connotations, and some are based on important events from ancient mythology and epic literature. As a result of different ethnic backgrounds, Nepalese people have diverse beliefs and cultures. Despite that fact, everyone unites for the celebration of the major festivals. Festivals such as Dasai and Tihar are of national significance, such as Bishkek Jatra or Rato Mochindranath Jatra belong to the tradition of the old valley towns, and still others such as Chhat are observed only by a particular ethnic community. The vivid cultural diversity of Nepal can be observed in the form of different festivals celebrated in the country. To give a closer look at Nepal's diversity, here are some of the major festivals celebrated in Nepal. Beginning with Biscuit Jatra. As you can see there, it is also famous as Nepal's New Year festival. This starts at mid-April, the beginning of Nepali Biscuit month. The Biscuit Jatra chariot parade in Bhaktapur is the best event to celebrate this national holiday. It's also one of the most exciting annual celebrations in Nepal, attracting tourists from all over the world. Moving on to Buddha Jayanti. The birthday of the Buddha falls in Nepali Jeshth month. On this day, Buddhists from the global swarm into Nepal and pay a visit to Lumbini, the birthplace of Buddha. People also have spectacular celebrations at Monkey Temple, Bodhanath, and Partan. You may have heard of them. And the precious Thangka will be exhibited on the southern wall of the courtyard in Swambhunath. You can catch the golden chance to observe monks dancing for the Buddha's birth. Moving on to Asar 15. So Asar 15, that is, it is the June. June is the beginning of cultivating rice in Nepal. So at the mid of Asar, that is Asar 15, we generally celebrate it by eating dahi and chura, commonly known as yogurt and beaten rice, and something sweet. Moving on to Nag Panchami, on the fifth day after the new month of Shravan, the whole country celebrates the honor of Nag. Okay, Dasai. Dasai, it's a similar to Chinese Springs Festival, but is the biggest and longest annual festival in Nepal, lasting for around 15 days. It is held to celebrate the victory of the goddess Durga over the evil. A large number of animals will be sacrificed during this auspicious festival, and people who would go back home for family reunion. You will also see colorful kites flying in the blue sky and kids playing on the swings. Chaitra Dasai. Chaitra Dasai is also known as Small Dasai. This is celebrated just 6 months before the Big Dasai. Both Dasai festivals are held for Goddess Durga only. In the early morning, goats and buffaloes will be sacrificed in the court square at Kathmandu. The worship of Chaitra Dasai also symbolizes the start of the 1 month long Setu Machindranath. So is Tihar. Tihar, also known as Diwali or Deepavali, after the third day of the celebration, is the most important festival in India and second only to Dasai in Nepal. Famous for the colorful festive lights. It falls between the late October and nearly November, lasting for 5 days. During this festival, people will honor some animals like crows, dogs, cows, and bullocks. On the fourth day, all the houses are cleaned and decorated with candles, lamps, and colorful lights to welcome Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. Thus, it's also called the Festivals of Light. This light. Mo- okay, now,
हार्दिक मङ्गलमय शुभ
as you can see there, it's the Festival of Light. Now, okay, sorry. Now moving on to Chhath Puja. Chhath is a famous festival which starts on the sixth day of the Hindu calendar month Kartik. This festival is dedicated to the worship of the god Sun and his wife Usha. This festival is celebrated to thank God for supporting life on earth and to seek the blessing of divine Sun God and his wife. Now comes the Jatras. Like in the Jatra, there's Gai Jatra, there's Kumari Jatra, there's Bhutu Jatra. So Jatra is an annual Nivari festival that includes street performances, religious ceremonies, and colorful celebrations. Jatra is an important component of Nivari culture, which has been celebrated by Kathmandu locals for centuries. Without Jatras, Kathmandu will lose its charm. Krishna Janmashtami, more simply referred to as Janmashtami, it's a Hindu holiday taking place every year in the month of Bhadra. On the Gregorian calendar, it often falls sometime in August or September. The holiday is very popular in Nepal and throughout the Hindu world. It is meant to commemorate the eighth birth or avatar of the god Krishna. It is celebrated as a general triumph of good over evil. Hindu epic tell of Krishna's battles with evil beings and his ultimate victory over the forces of darkness. To mark the day, there will be performance at midnight that look back to the evil battle of Krishna against the evil King Kongs. So this is a picture. This represents the Rath Yatra in the year of 2019, which was on the day of Krishna Janmashtami itself by Rotaract Club of Biratnagar. Moving on to Tees festival in Nepal is a holy festival of Nepali Hindu women celebrated with joy and hope. Tees, also known as Haritalika, is a festival celebrated to Lord Shiva and Parvati. It's a 3 days long festival in which women fast in the name of Lord Shiva for a long and prosperous life with their husband. It's popular for both young unmarried and both married women. With this, I'd like to move on to Magi Sankranti. It's one of the most major festivals that is celebrated in the month of Mag. This festival is also known as Sankranti. It is celebrated in Nepal as the beginning of the auspicious month of Mag. The festival is considered to be the beginning of warmer days in comparison to the cold month of the December. It is believed that from this day the sun starts to move towards the northern hemisphere. So what family generally they get together on the first of the Mag and eat meals together. They do share this til laddu, ghee, and the sweet potatoes like here during the festive occasion. The priest wishes good health and better future for all the family members. We Everyone must have heard of Holi. It's one of the most famous Nepalese festivals, closely related to the Songkran festival in Thailand and also Myanmar. It falls on the full moon in the Nepali Phagu month. As the dry season comes to an end, the cooling water reminds us the monsoon season is just around the corner. Phagu Purnima is also known as a festival of colors, during which people make cheerful throws at each other by waters and paints. Isn't it like it's very pretty? Um, Moving on to Sita Bivaha Panchami. It's the auspicious day when Princess of Janakpur Dham Sita married Prince of Ayodhya Ramchandra. The marriage anniversary of Lord Ramchandra and Sita is celebrated at Janak Janaki Mandir in Janakpur Dham. This is Janaki Mandir, and this mandir is filled with thousands of people from all across Nepal and India. Mahashivaratri. It's one of the most largest significant among the sacred festivals of India. The festival celebrates the grace of Shiva, who is considered the Adi Guru or the first Guru from whom the yogic tradition originates. The planetary positions on this night, which is also the darkest night of the year, are such that there is a powerful natural upsurge of energy in the human system. It is enormously beneficial for one's physical and spiritual well being to stay awake and aware in the vertical position throughout the night. Eid. Nepal is a country of religious tolerance, and Eid al Fitr is often called the festival of breaking the fast. The practice of dawn to sunset fasting during the holy month of Ramadan is one of the five pillars of Islam. It's a tradition to wear new clothes and on the way to a mosque, eat something sweet such as date and recite a small prayer called takbir. Other key elements of Eid celebrations are giving money to the poor, sending Eid greetings, and feasting with families. Okay, Janai Purnima. Janai Purnima is observed in the month of Shravan. It is called Raksha Bandhan as this festival also observes the bond of purity and security. This festival is celebrated by Hindus all over the world. Janai Purnima is a sacred thread festival. On this day, Hindu men, especially the Brahmins and Kshetri, perform the annual chains of Janai, and all who celebrate this festival put a sacred thread around their wrist. The Janai generally it initiates a boy into manhood and commands him to devotedly follow the religion and the path of truth. So this is the last but not the least festival mentioned here, Udauli and Ubauli. So Ubauli festival marks the beginning of the farming season, whereas Udauli marks the time of harvesting. Sakera dance is performed during Udauli, whereas people dance and sing song, eating delicious kranti dishes. With this, I'd like to end my presentation and thank you everyone for listening me. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinita, for such a wonderful presentation. And now I would like to call Rotaract Misha for the presentation of culture exchange from the Pakistan.
Hey, I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so let's start with Pakistani culture. I will first introduce Pakistan. It is an Islamic Republic state, and Pakistan consists of five provinces. The name of these are Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Gilgit-Baltistan. So we will discuss the culture of each and every province one by one. First of all, we will start by Punjab culture. So the word Punjab is derived from the two Persian words Panj and Aap. The word Panj means five, and the Aap means river. It means it is a land of five rivers. So it can the total of 55% of Pakistani population resides in the Punjab, and it is the gateway of Indian subcontinent. Uh, Also, the Punjabi culture is the oldest culture because for the separation of India and Pakistan, it is also was also there. Punjabi culture is also the culture of different regions. Uh, we can find it in the different regions of the world. Like we can also see it in the India and Canada and also the regions. Let's move to the Punjabi dressing. Mostly the women wear the colorful dressing. Mostly female wear shalwar kameez, and male wear shalwar kameez with, or also they wear dhoti kusa with pagdi. This is also considered as the national dress of Pakistan. Next, Punjabi food. With Punjabi food, mostly people like makai roti and sarson ka saag. Punjabi people also like Lahori pulao, chicken kadahi, aloo gosht pie, golgappe, special Punjabi salad, murg chane lassi, and many more. Also, the philosophy of Punjab people is to eat and drink and live freely. So they're considered as the heartful people. Now move to the wedding tradition in Punjab. The wedding tradition they also follow the pre-wedding functions, which include mehndi, dolki, and the mangani. Also, these are not the actual wedding function, but people count it for their satisfaction. The wedding process includes the Sehra Bandi and Nikah. On Sehra Bandi, the bride's head is decorated with the flowers or flower-based rituals, and the doll is an important part of the wedding. Mostly people consider the wedding without doll is incomplete. Next, move the Punjabi festivals. Mainly, the fairs held at the shrines of saint are regarded at the Urs. So in Punjab, there are many are conducted in fact that's like Ganj. Punjabis also celebrate seasonal harvest festivals, which include the Basant, that is mostly celebrated in the February, and Bisakhi. Nowadays, they also celebrate the Lahore festival. Next, folklore of Punjab, the Heer Ranjha is the most famous folklore of the Punjab. It's also considered as a uh, folklore of romance. Next, move towards the second province culture, that is Sindhi. The local name of Sindhis comes from the Mehran. It has the title of Babalistan. Sindh is also separated from Sindh was first the part of the Balochistan. It was separated from Balochistan with the help of Indus River. Actually, Indus River is at the borderline of Sindh and Balochistan. Sindhi languages. There are different languages that are spoken in the Sindh, but five most of them important are Sindhi, Lassi, Kuchi, Thari, and Sindhi Saiki. Out of these five, Sindhi is the third most common language that is spoken in Pakistan after Punjabi and Pashto. Punjabi is the most common one. Next, move to the Sindhi dress. Sindhi people wear shalwar kameez and also they wear the Sindhi topi that is decorated with the uh, that is decorated with stones. Also, Sindhi custom have their the male person also wear the ajrak. Next, move toward the Sindhi food. In typical Sindhi wedding, the mostly preferred food is Sindhi mutton, curry, palak, chana dal. Festivals, the most common festivals are Tejri, Makar Sankranti, Holi, Akhandi, Diwali, Chetni Chand, and Nang Panchami. Towards the Sindhi music is the most popular music in the Pakistan, and the most popular Sindhi singers are Abda Parveen, Alan Fakir, Sana Madhuri, and Shazia Kushan. Uh, Sindh is also the most famous for its Sindhi truck art. Now you people can see that the truck is decorated with different colors and different patterns. Uh, Such type of trucks can only be seen in the Sindh area. It is also called more ports. The games that are played in the Sindh area are Malakero. Malakero is the most famous one. Besides this, Vanskatni, Kodi Kodi, Vilaro, Tiapir, and Notting Below cricket and football are also played there. Next, move toward the Blochi culture. The Balochistan is the largest province of the Pakistan just by geographical area, but it consists of 45% of the geographical region of the Pakistan, but the population here is much lower regarding the provinces. Balochi dressing, the dress code is very special. The people there wear shalwar kameez and turban. Turban is actually the public statue that this man is wearing. Women also like frocks and long frocks and shalwars. Their jewelry is very special. It is made of the metal that is that is a source of attraction for tourists and the common people there. Next, moving toward the Blochi food. Blochi is special for their dry fruits. Of all over the world, the special food item is saji that is also loved in all of the Pakistan. Uh, they also eat the roasted lamb and sand mutton. The languages that are spoken in the Balochi region are Balochi, Urdu, Pashto, and Bruhi. Uh, Out of these, the Balochi is most common one. Next, move to Balochi music. It is very rich and played in a traditional, like by a variety of traditional instruments. The most common is Rustam Lari, which is known as the Prince of Balochi music. The games that are played in the Balochi area are Chok and G. Uh, except them wrestling, horse racing, gun shooting, hunting, customers are also played there. Uh, Also, card games and gambling are the most common among the people there. Next, move toward the culture of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The province Khyber Pakhtunkhwa had multiple names. It was called NWFP, the Northwest Frontier Province. In Urdu language, it is also called the Sarhad. Uh, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa was given the name KPK on 15th of April 2010 on the in the 18th Amendment in Pakistan Constitution. Its capital is the Peshawar state. The most famous historical places in the KPK are Islamic College, Ilyasi Masjid, the Rakhabar and House of Dalip Kumar. The most common languages that are spoken there are Pashto and Hinku. Next, move to the dress code. The people that wear their mostly the men wear the shalwar kameez with waistcoat and women wear long frocks. Also, pakol, kandarpi cap, and turban are also worn by men. With the shalwar kameez, the men wear their Peshawari chappal. It is very common and the most famous chappal in Pakistan, especially in the KPK. With the marriage ceremony, there consists of the three parts. Like in Punjab, it also consists of pre-marriage ceremony. But in KPK, there is no pre-marriage ceremony. They just follow the three customs like Mehndi, Barat, and Walima. The people in the KPK also are famous for their dance. There are two types of dance there, like Hotak dance and Atan dance. Towards the music and singers, traditional Pashto music is most common, which include ghazals. They play ghazals using different instruments like rabab, sitar, and harmonium. The most famous singers there are Rahim Shah, Gul Panhara, Zik Afridi, and Gulzar Azam. The famous food items there are shinwari, kapli pulao, chapli kebab, and saji. Saji is common in both Balochistan and KPK. The festivals celebrated all over Pakistan or in the KPK as well as Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha, both are the religious festivals as it is an Islamic state. So these are celebrated all over Pakistan. The famous games that are played here are polo, football, cricket, and nesabasi. Next, move toward the last province of Pakistan, that is Gilgit-Baltistan. Gilgit-Baltistan is also known as northern India of Pakistan. It is very famous for its tourist attraction. First, when I, before 1970, it was not under Pakistan. They were running their self-governing, but it became the province of Pakistan in 2019. Its capital is Gilgit. The historical places there are Baltic Fort, Altit Fort, Rohtas Fort, and Shangarila Hotel and Resorts. The languages that are spoken there are English, Urdu, Shina, and Balti. Balti is the local language. Dressing code that where there people mostly wear shalwar kameez, long chola chova, mostly female wear chola chova with chitrali caps. Chitrali cap is decorated with these shells and nets. Women also wear loose, colorful frock type dressings. The marriage ceremony there also consists of just three functions: Mehndi, Barat, and Walima. Music that are common there is Harib, Ashjan, and Basmi. Also, the games that are played there are Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Azha. Sorry, the festivals that are celebrated there are again the Eid al-Azha, Eid al-Fitr, and Chitral festival. Actually, Chitral is their local festival, but both Eids are religious. Also, the games played there are polo, cricket, football, and play of markhor. But the polo is most common in this region. Okay, thank you so much. This is the whole